Tuscaloosa to frenzy.
And McClellan, he could go. Burst of speed. Alabama opens the Rashinda Reed era with a victory.
We talked about Alabama.
Alabama reaches the College Cup for the first time.
Heisman Memorial Trophy.
The first soccer championship in school history.
Is still Alabama.
Every season is a new challenge. And I never look back at the past. It's always about the future.
As you can see, it's time for fall camp. The Alabama football team has been out on the practice field for the past couple of weeks. The 2023 college football season is just around the corner. And you know what, Kinsey? Roll Tide to that.
Hey, roll Tide to that, Roger. I'm so happy for this season, and I'm also pumped for another season of TideTV this week.
Yeah, we're back here in studio for a new year of TideTV this week. I'm Roger Hoover, joined by Kinsey Hughes. And Kinsey, it's great to finally see you again. How was your summer?
It was good. Anybody who knows me knows that my family is one of the most important things in the world to me, so it was great to spend some time with them. But the Chef Hoover posts were making me miss my CTP family. It's good to be back.
Content for the people. Well, the Crimson Tide began fall camp on Thursday, August 3rd, and the Tide have been practicing for a little over 2 weeks now. The Tide practiced in helmet and shells until their first full practice in full pads on Wednesday the 9th.
Coach Saban and the squad finally got off the practice fields and back inside Bryant-Denny Stadium as the Tide held their first scrimmage this past Saturday. Let's take an all-access look at the Tide's first scrimmage at fall camp inside Bryant-Denny. Hey, if that doesn't get you ready for the season, Roger, I don't know what will.
It's good to see the Tide back in Bryant-Denny, and the Tide will be back in the stadium this Saturday for their final scrimmage of fall camp.
And after Saturday's scrimmage, the team had Sunday off before returning to the practice field on Monday night. The team is practicing Monday through Saturdays during fall camp while taking the day off from practice on Sundays.
Crimson Tide will have a total of 20 practices during fall camp before they begin the season practice schedule on Monday, August 28th. Let's hear Coach Saban's thoughts after the team's first scrimmage in Bryant-Denny this past Saturday.
Look, everybody got reps today at quarterback. I'm not a stats guy, so we're not interested in what their statistics were. We are going to be interested when we watch the film in, how did they execute? Did they throw the ball the right place at the right time? Were they accurate in what they did? Did they take care of the ball so that we have a chance to, play winning football at that position? And that's what we'll be evaluating. So if you ask me a question about it, that's the answer I'm going to give you. So, we still had drops at receiver. We still had mental errors on defense. We still jumped off sides too many times when it was a hard count. So we have a ton of things to work on. But in all honesty, if we didn't have a ton of things to work on, why would we have 20 more practices or whatever it is for the first game?
Preseason coaches and Associated Press top 25 rankings have been released, and Kinsey, the Tide, near the top of both top 25 polls.
I mean, hey, no surprise there, Roger.
Crimson Tide ranks 4th in the Associated Press top 25. Georgia is number 1, with Michigan and Ohio State at 2 and 3. LSU comes in at number 5 to give the SEC 3 out of the top 5 schools.
Alabama's Week 2 opponent Texas is 11th. Other SEC teams in the rankings include Tennessee at 12th, Ole Miss at 22, and Texas A&M gives the SEC 6 teams in the top 25 as the Aggies come in at number 23.
Coaches have the same 5 teams in their top 5, but in a different order. The coaches put Alabama at number 3, just ahead of Ohio State. The Tide also received 4 first-place votes from the coaches.
Georgia and LSU join the Tide in the top 5, just like in the AP. Tennessee comes in at 10, while the Texas Longhorns are 12th. 2 other SEC teams made the coaches' top 25 with the Ole Miss Rebels at 22 and the Aggies of Texas A&M rounding out the poll at 25. It just means more, baby. But hey, it hasn't been just work all during fall camp. Coach Saban had some fun with the incoming freshman class as he invited him to the annual Lake House dinner for a little bit of fun at the lake.
Let's go all access with Coach Saban and the newest additions to the Crimson Tide football team on Lake Tuscaloosa.
Great day at the lake. Have fun. Hey, it's the one. Hey, I'm
TideTV This Week is presented by the University of Alabama, where legends are made. Visit your local Ford dealer, proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide.
Welcome back to TideTV This Week. The 2023 football season is only a couple of weeks away, and the 4th-ranked Crimson Tide will kick off the season on September 2nd here at home inside Bryant-Denny Stadium.
As we get ready for the season, let's take a look at this year's team. Our Christopher England joins us now for a preview of the 2023 version of the Tide's offense.
It's a new season and a new offensive coordinator for Coach Saban and the Crimson Tide. Tommy Rees comes over from Notre Dame to lead the Alabama offense. This is his first year here in Tuscaloosa, but he's very familiar with the Tide, having both played and coached against Coach Saban-led Crimson Tide teams.
This is an opportunity that we take a lot of pride in, and it's something that we're going to work tirelessly at. Our goal is to make sure that we continue to uphold the standard that's been set here, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure that we play a physical brand of football, a brand of football that when other teams watch, there's a little bit of fear from them.
There, tight. There we go.
Offensively, we're doing a really nice job of buying in, and look, this isn't me coming in and overhauling anything. It's, what do we do really well? How do we maximize that? What are a few wrinkles that we can add in here to make sure that we continue to enhance the offense? And so that's really been our focus as a staff. Being really good up front, being physical at the point of attack is critical to having sustained success. In critical moments of games, you need to be able to run the football, whether it's to close a game out, inside the red area, short yardage plays. You got to have some sort of backbone where you know that you can be physical, and when everybody in the stadium knows the run's coming, we want to make sure that we maximize those opportunities and convert. Our mantra really is we're going to win with people. So depending on what our personnel is, where our strengths are, we're going to put the people in the positions to have success based on what they do really well. I think the group is, steadily improving. I think they've taken leaps and bounds over the last couple months here, doing a lot of things on their own and really owning what we're asking them to do on offense. For me, it's, a couple things. We want guys that can make great decisions. We want guys that can operate the offense. And then we want guys that can create plays for us. We still want a playmaker back there. So it should be a great competition this camp, and we're excited to allow the competition to bring out the best in all of them. Wolf obviously does a great job of getting those guys ready to go and really teaching them the fundamentals, but also the scheme. And I think you see a maturity level amongst that group. I think you see a hunger amongst that group, where they're almost putting the onus on them to be a group that can dominate and really lead the offense. I think we have a great blend of some veteran presence and some young players that are really talented, and it's a strong group up front, I'll be honest with you. but we want to be explosive. We have great skill players here. You know, we have to have opportunities to get them in positions to be great with the ball in their hands. For us, we have guys that can do different things at a really high level. And it's always our job as a staff to make sure we get them in those positions. But we have speed to be vertical threat on the outside. You know, we have running backs that have different strengths. We have some guys that, you know, on the outside that can do some things, whether it's, you know, strength or run after the catch or get them in open field. So it's really it's an exciting time for us to just exactly put guys where we want them to allow them to have success.
Coach Reese may be in his first year as the offensive coordinator here at Alabama, but the rest of the offensive coaching staff is returning. He said the continuity is great, and that has been instrumental in his transition and leading the Crimson Tide offense. Stay with us. We'll have more Tide TV this week coming up next.
Welcome back to Tide TV This Week. With fall camp back in full swing, that means Coach Saban is bringing in speakers to share their expertise and experiences with the team.
That's right, Roger. There have been some great people that have already spoken to the team this fall, like Major League Baseball all-time hits leader Pete Rose, former NBA coach and player Doc Rivers, Michael Strahan, and Ken Griffey Jr., among others.
Let's take an all-access look as former NFL offensive lineman C.L. Shepard shared his message with the Crimson Tide. It's brought to you by Legacy of Hope.
Every coach will tell you that complexity is the enemy of execution. Clarity is power. But if you don't know who you are and what you're here to do, of course you're not going to know what to do in life, let alone on third down. Those are two questions that you should be in desperate pursuit of figuring out the answers to those two questions. Who am I and what am I here to do? You at Bama, congratulations. What's now? What now? I know you're special. I don't know your resume. I didn't read your bio, but you in this room, you in this seat, you on this staff, congratulations. But making it to the top and making it what? At the top are two different things. You gotta have a mindset shift. You gotta shift gears, bro, and you gotta go to another level. It's gonna take decisively engagement on consistency, on purpose, and on result. And I want you to enjoy the journey. What are the areas that you need to grow in? What are the areas that you need to develop in? Why is this important? I told you last year, because the chase must be as gratifying as the capture. The ones who are special, the elite, the what? Elite, the what? Elite, they find a way to fall in love with the journey. That I don't just want the outcome. I want to work for. I'm not talking to everybody in this room, but I'm talking to somebody in this room. For you, it has nothing to do with the resources and the things available to you. Somebody in this room, it's as simple as you just got to make a big boy decision tonight. That you're going to stop making excuses and you're going to make history. That you're going to get out of your own way. That you won't be focused on who isn't here and what you don't have. You're going to embrace the opportunities that are in front of you.
Welcome back to Tide TV This Week. Football isn't the only sport getting ready for fall competition. The Alabama soccer team is looking to capitalize on some momentum from last season.
Tide won their first ever regular season championship in the SEC and also made the school's first ever appearance in the College Cup.
History was made for sure, and Coach Wes Hart's squad opens the season this weekend with a couple of matches. To preview the upcoming season for the Crimson Tide, our Delaney Jones joins us now. Delaney?
Thanks, Kenzie. After losing several key players from last year's historic season, Wes Hart has reloaded this year's squad with 7 freshmen and has picked up 4 new transfers. The Tide are opening their season ranked 7th overall in the nation and are picked 2nd in the SEC coaches poll.
We're going into this season the same way we approached last season. We're going to take it, game by game. We're not going to focus on, what our ranking is, who our opponent is. We're going to just be concerned about us and doing what we do. And so for us, the expectations from the outside, don't really, affect us.
We should be excited about the season ahead of us. I think we're a younger group, so there's going to be a little little learning curve, I guess.
Yeah, you know, I like our team. I think we've got a very good group, and as I mentioned already, we lost some key players from last year and some holes that we're certainly going to have to fill. But you know, thankfully for us, we were able to pick up a couple of key transfers in the transfer portal. We've got a couple of freshmen that have come in and shown the ability to compete and play at a high level. Some players last year that were maybe kind of role players or reserve players for us that have shown early on that they're going to be able to contribute. And so, you know, right now I'm really pleased with the group.
I think we obviously like to kind of look back, but also like to move forward. And last year we didn't really like picture everything to go the way it did. So I think having that same mindset of just going out and taking every game on as it comes, I think that's going to be the biggest part.
What am I most excited for this season? I guess just to see this team come together, and you know, we have you know, kind of an identity that we've created, but with each new team, you know, there's little wrinkles that you know, each team you know, brings, and so I'm excited to see what this team can do, and you know, got a great group of players that are fun to be around, enjoyable to coach, and I'm just excited to see where it takes us.
Alabama soccer will hit the road for the first time this season this weekend. The Tide will take on UAB in Birmingham on Sunday at 6 on ESPN+.
Thanks, Delaney. The Alabama volleyball team is also gearing up for the season. Rashinda Reed enters her second season as head coach.
Tide will host North Alabama for an exhibition matchup this Saturday and will officially begin the season next weekend as the Crimson Tide hosts the Crimson Tide Invitational at Foster Auditorium.
While we're at it, let's take an all-access look as the Crimson Tide volleyball team recently held their first practice in Foster Auditorium.
Stay strong, stay loud, and like be ready for that out of system.
Have the mentality like that side's not winning.
Practicing the physical and the mental. Here we go.
Tide TV This Week is presented by the University of Alabama, where legends are made. Visit your local Ford dealer, proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide.
Welcome back to Tide TV This Week. Kinsey, our first show is almost in the books, but before we go, let's talk about the Alabama women's basketball team.
You know it. Christy Curry's squad just got back from a 10-day trip to Spain. The Tide played 3 games during the trip with stops in Madrid, Valencia, and Barcelona.
The Tide won all 3 games and got to enjoy the culture and had a great time exploring Spain.
Let's take an all-access look at the women's basketball team's trip to Spain. It's brought to you by ATI, and we'll see you next week, everybody. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
My experience here has been great. I love playing against different people and seeing their play style. I think over here in Spain, they really use a lot of like shot fakes and pass fakes and stuff like that. I think that's something that we can take over to America. Their food here, I like their dish called the paella. I may be saying that wrong, but that's my favorite dish here. And I think the experience was great.
Yeah, it was a great experience. You know, we got to get into a different culture and just see different things, see how people move differently. The food's different here, but the competition was great here, and what a blessing it is to come across some water and play the same game of basketball against great competition.
So I learned about this trip is that the Spanish culture is completely different from our American culture. They like to slow down, take their time. Meanwhile, America, we're like fast, fast, go, go, go. And I just really learned just to slow down, not just on the court, but just in life. And also, I just feel like this is a great experience for me because I eventually want to play overseas. So this is just a first step in the door.
I just thought with each and every game that you saw a lot of growth within our team. I thought from game 1 to game 2 and then game 3. Today's game was extremely physical, no air. You know, we've had a really busy day, so these kids have continued to respond. Great chemistry and just a lot of little things that we've improved on from practice. So it's been a real blessing for us this summer, and we're just so thankful for this opportunity.
This has been a presentation from Learfield,